I'm Jean Hungerford with Quorum Hotels and Resorts. We are located spread throughout the country. We have our properties spread in California, the Marriott Fremont in Fremont, California. That property has 13,000 square feet of meeting space. We also have two properties in Arizona. We have the Tucson, Radisson Suites Tucson property that has 20,000 square feet of meeting space. And then we have the Mesa property, our Hilton Phoenix East property in Mesa, and that one has 13,000 square feet of meeting space. We also have our conference center, which is at the Hilton DFW Lakes Executive Conference Center at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport on 90 acres with 40,000 square feet of meeting space. Absolutely wonderful. We also have the historic Brown Palace Hotel in downtown Denver, Colorado, and they have 13,000 square feet of meeting space also. And last but not least is our Wyndham Hotel in Tampa, and that property has 13,000 square feet of meeting space in the West Shore area. So what sets us apart from other hotels is our ability to have a lot of fun with what we do. We have amazing food and beverage. Our culinary skills, our chefs are award-winning, do an absolutely fabulous job, and service is what makes a difference. So please contact us, Jean Hungerford, at 214-536-5676, and we'd be happy to help you in any of those cities. Thank you.
Those of you who do follow me know that I read voraciously, and that I tweet and post on LinkedIn and Facebook not all that I read, a lot of what I read. My job in life, I believe, is to help others learn, and so that's how we do it. So a couple interesting articles. This is from a lengthy article about the 4 secrets of playtime that foster creative kids. And I think it's so interesting. Children are naturally creative. Adults lose that. We lose those wonderful inhibitions, I guess we get back the inhibitions. We get back the inhibitions that make us not be creative. We say that we can't draw, that we can't sing, we can't dance, we can't do any of those things. And I love this quote from this article. It says, "There's an American myth that work and play are entirely separate activities." I think we're going to dispel that myth. We're going to talk about that today and talk about some principles you can use, and you're going to have an opportunity to do a little drawing. So this is, I thought this was interesting. This, playing golf, is acceptable at meetings, right? We have golf tournaments. We have things that encourage people to do that. This, on the other hand, is not acceptable at meetings. Playing with stuff. Right? We don't allow people to play. There are reasons for it. Who remembers what I mentioned before about when your hands are and when your hands are active, your hands are engaged, your brain's more engaged. When you're fiddling, when you're doodling, your brain is more engaged. So we're going to talk about some of these, and we're going to have an opportunity to look through some ways to do that. So here's my question to you. And virtual audience, write in what you think this is. What do you think this is? What's going on in this picture? Shout it out. Play-Doh. Say it again. Play-Doh hot dog. How is it a hot dog?
They're putting mustard on it.
Yeah, they're putting mustard on a Play-Doh hot dog. How did they get a Play-Doh hot dog? Why did they get a Play-Doh hot dog? Because they wanted one? Is that what somebody said? They wanted a Play-Doh hot dog. They really liked that salty, weird taste of Play-Doh. What do you think the purpose of playing with Play-Doh and making hot dogs was? Why did they do it?
Linda virtually believes that it's because they were thinking about food.
Because they were thinking about food, okay? Good idea. And they were, in fact, thinking about food with a purpose.
I think it's a team-building thing that they're doing.
Okay, you think it's a
team-building, imagination, thing. Go back to your childhood. What did you
Yeah, go back to your childhood and play. All right, let me tell you what it is. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, said that what a lot of us know, and certainly those of you who are parents or aunts, uncles, grandparents know, that hot dogs are dangerous for children to eat. They're actually dangerous for a lot of people because they're slippery. It's easy. Of course, I guess those people in hot dog eating contests love that. They're easy to just like down and they're gone. What they did is this is a company looking at how to make a hot dog a better shape in order to make it less dangerous. They were playing in order to come up with this. Remember the picture that I showed you? Let me see if I can hopefully go back to it. This is those people who are playing with Play-Doh to learn this. What we don't do is allow people to get involved with learning and to play with what they're using. And so I highly recommend it. Let me show you a couple other things. These did not have a particular purpose. And you have Benderoos on your table, which are very much like WikiSticks. This is something that happened at a meeting where people just sat there. These were all people who said, I am not creative. There was no purpose other than having fun stuff, and they made them. Here's another one, their own island. Someone made this while sitting in an all-day program and just made this. This is one of my favorites. We didn't bring in Model Magic. They were probably thinking about food too. Is it lunch yet? And so what I love is Model Magic is I get nothing for promoting it, a wonderful Crayola product. And this is a person who swore she couldn't do anything and made this entire breakfast, with the Blue Plate Special as I call it, with a cup of tea and flowers. So what I'm going to tell you is that people can be creative if given permission. If someone says, you don't have to compete, all you have to do is sit there, and if you want to play with this stuff, play with it. And it's amazing what will happen. So I have a favor of you, and those of you participating virtually. Hopefully you have, I know on your tables here, you have crayons and markers and things with color. I think things are more fun in color. And one of your handouts says, asks you about your best learning experience ever. So this is where, do me a favor, everybody here and everybody virtually. I want you to do this, put your arms out and don't hit somebody, and just go, brr, brr. Yeah, do that. Okay, good. Good. Now what I want you to do is take the handout piece, and they're in different colors. You can use black and white color, whatever you want. Take the colors from the tables, and those of you participating virtually, I want you to hopefully have some crayons or markers or something in color. I want you to cartoon 3 panels, just 3 panels, your best learning experience ever. And I'm going to talk while you're doing this and have you observe. So this is where you get to do some drawing. Think about your best learning experience ever. There are no boundaries on this. And then I want you to cartoon it. So while you're cartooning, I'm going to talk a little bit about this exercise. One of the things we know is that, as I said earlier, people are afraid to draw. People are afraid to put themselves into something. No one is going to grade these. No one's going to judge them. They're for you. This is a marvelous exercise that you can do with others. It's not scary. I use some I always forget what they're called, screen beans as my illustration. Stick figures, anything you want to do. I'm going to talk, but you're going to draw. You don't have to look at me during this exercise. All you have to do is draw your best learning experience ever. Now, for some people, thinking of their best learning experience may be the greater challenge than the drawing. And so I want you to think about your best learning experience. And remember, there are no boundaries. No boundaries. I'm not saying your best learning experience at any particular time of your life, in any particular setting. It's simply the time you learned something that was so great. And I can share a couple with you as you're doing this, so maybe they'll trigger some thoughts. My earliest best learning experience was learning to roller skate with the old keyed roller skates. When my neighbors, I'll name them, Nancy and Patty Nolan, in case you're listening. Nancy and Patty Nolan, who were the 2 older girls down the street, were showing me how, and one on each arm. And they got me to the corner, and it started to storm. And do you think they let 4-year-old Joni get home safely? They took off running. And my choice was to either sit down and start crying, or my choice was to learn how to roller skate. And with all the determination in my little 4-year-old self, I learned to roller skate. And what it told me, and my learning experience from it was, I can do it. I can do this if I put my mind to it. And it's something I've carried with me.